Hey everyone, this is Jason Burke, High Performance System, and I want to welcome everyone to this presentation from Jason Kenny. He's a seasoned entrepreneur, over 19 years experience, and he is going to teach you today on how to get apply for tax credits, refundable tax credits. So I want to welcome Jason Kenny.
Thank you, Jason. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Awesome. It's a great day. It's a great day. And thank you for having me on this webinar, and thank you all for being on the webinar today. Yeah, so as Jason mentioned, I am here to talk about the Employee Retention Credit Program. What the heck is the Employee Retention Credit Program? Why do you care? And I'm also going to, excuse me, I'm also going to share with you how the two different ways, or two different opportunities for you to make some money off of this. Not only that, but I'm going to show you how potentially to make some significant money off of this program, this completely legit, federally funded program. And so, yeah, we'll get into it. I'm going to take the next 30 to 45 minutes, probably closer to 45 minutes, knowing me, and go through the program and answer any questions at the end that you may have. Okay, so bear with me. I am going to attempt to share my screen. Okay, cool. So anyway, so I'll write this down, ERC specialist. In a moment, I'll talk a little bit more about my background, but today we're going to talk about the Employee Retention Credit Program. This is a program for small business owners, and it's a program that's not going to be around forever. It's not going to be around for very long. We'll talk about that as well. And there's really just a tremendous opportunity to, again, make money in a couple different ways doing this. So we'll just jump right into it right now. First, who is JK? I'm Jason Kennedy. I go by JK. As Jason mentioned, I am a serial entrepreneur. I became an entrepreneur about 19 years ago, really out of necessity. And meaning I got laid off from my job, plain and simple. I was raised and I came up in the world of, hey, go to college, get all these letters next to your name, get a good job, that kind of thing, to make your money, and hopefully hope and pray that you have enough money for retirement at the end of it, right? I came from that school of thought. Well, those of you who get to know me are going to learn something about my personality, or several things, I'm sure. One of them is that I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. I'm all or nothing, meaning I don't just like dip my toe in the pool. I jump in the deep end. I'm either going to go or I don't. I'm either all in or I'm all out. That's always been my personality. So you want to talk about go to college, get a job, work 40 years and hope and pray that you have retirement at the end of it. That's the track that most of us are taught, right? Well, me being me, I didn't just go to college. I spent 8 years in college. I got a master's degree in counseling. Spent $100,000 on my education, right? All or nothing, baby, all or nothing. And what did that get me? It got me a job as a high school counselor, making 30 grand a year of gross income in California. Okay, I'm originally from California. I moved to Palm Beach County, Florida about a year ago. Okay, but either way, $100,000 to make 30 grand a year gross income. And when I say gross, I mean gross. I mean, at the end of the day, after taxes are paid and everything else, I'm walking home with like $2,000 a month. Okay, and that lasted all of a whopping year. Why? Because I got laid off. Budget cuts, all that kind of stuff. That's what happens with education. And when that happens and they have to lay people off, guess who goes first? The rookies, right? So I'm gone. And I'll tell you, I don't mind telling you that at the time I was extremely ticked off. I was ticked, man. I was mad. Why? Because in my mind, I did what you were supposed to do, right? Go get your education, go get all these fancy letters next to your name, right? So that you can have your shiny career and do whatever, and you're set for life. I learned the hard way that that is not true. I shouldn't say the hard way, because I look back on it now and I'm telling you, as ticked as I was at the time, I look back at that moment as a pivotal moment in my life. And thank gosh that happened. It's one of the best things that could have happened to me. Why? Because it forced me to take a step back and realize some key things that made me become an entrepreneur. Remember, and the main thing, I could go on, I could do a whole webinar on that. I will tell you this, the main thing that it taught me was that nobody cares about your financial destiny like you will. Nobody cares like you will. And that's not to talk, it's not to talk bad about anyone. I'm not being negative against anyone. Hey, they've got their own families to feed. They've got their own things they got to take care of. Okay, I get it. It's human nature. My point is, nobody's going to care about your financial future like you do, right? And so from that point on, I decided I am not working for anyone ever again. And I haven't. June 30th of 2003 was the last time I worked for anybody as an employee, period, end of sentence, done. Okay, I don't even wear a watch. I wear a little, it's a Christian little thing, a wristband I got from church. I don't wear a watch. I haven't worn a watch since June of 2003. It's one of my weird little quirky parts of my personality. I won't wear a watch. Why? Because nobody's going to dictate to me my time. I choose what to do with my time. And I know, weird, but it works. So my main business, as Jason mentioned, I'm a real estate investor. That's the foundation business of my overall, that's my foundation business. However, I have my hand in 6 other businesses right now, okay, including this one, ERC. So real estate investing, flips, commercial, apartment buildings, rentals, the whole 9 yards, wholesaling. I have been a coach, mentor, and trainer internationally. Did that for 15 years, teaching people how to be successful in real estate investing, right? I do, again, ERC is another one of my businesses, or one of the businesses I'm involved with. I'm involved with cannabis, the cannabis industry. I'm involved with doing loans for investors. There's just a number of things that I'm involved that I have my hands in. Okay, why? Because as you become an entrepreneur, you're going to learn really quick. It's all about multiple streams of income. It's all about multiple streams of income, right? And I'll be the first one to tell you, so ERC is one of my quote unquote side gigs, but what a side gig, right? Not just for me, for my clients. In a few moments, you're going to see what we're doing for our clients, okay, in the form of refundable tax credits. So write this down. This is my direct cell. Okay, you call, text, whatever, you're going directly to me. Again, I'm here in Palm Beach County, Florida. I'm here. Email ercjk@gmail.com. Shoot me an email anytime. And this is my website. This is the big one, jkerc.com. Okay, you're going to want to write this down because, again, in a few moments, I'm going to show you 2 people that I'm talking to on this webinar. Person number 1, or person A, you're a small business owner and you might be eligible for refundable tax credits. I'm talking to you right now. You're going to want that website. Person number 2 I'm talking to, JK, I don't own a business. Okay, chances are you know some people that own businesses, right? I have not come across anyone yet who does not know at least 1 or 2 people that own a business. If that's you, you need to write down that website. Why? Because there is a way for you to make money with this as well. Okay, and in a few moments, I will get to all of that. Okay, so this is me. And why did I throw this picture in here? Simple. It's one of my clients. This is one of the deputies for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department. This dude is awesome. This guy is amazing. He is a team chaplain for one of the minor league baseball teams here, as well as the Major League Baseball teams during spring training. Met him not too long ago. He's got a side business, and he actually helped me out with some things having to do with DMV stuff. We'll just leave it at that. He helped me out with some things, and just struck up a conversation with him. and found out that he's got a side business where he really focuses on helping the homeless, helping veterans in the community. This guy is just amazing, heart of gold. So I asked him about his business. Turns out he's got some W-2s. That file in my hand, we just did the paperwork for him to get employee retention credits for his business that he didn't even know existed. Okay, love this picture. Besides, hey, how could it hurt to have some connections in the right places, right? Anyway, so the employee retention credit, ERC, right? So what this is, again, this is a government program. This is not my program. This is not ERC specialist program. What we do, ERC specialists, what we do is we take that federal program, we get the word out there to small business owners, okay? And then what we do is we do all the legwork to get you qualified and to get your money, to first of all, to maximize the amount you qualify for legally, and then get you your money. That's what we do. We do all the work for you, okay? Now, why is this so important? Simple. According to Forbes, excuse me, according to Forbes, 70 to 80% of small businesses in the US qualify for this program. And yet I can tell you, I've been doing this for about a year now. Why only a year? Well, this company's only been around for about a year. Now, why has this company only been around here for a year? In a few moments, I'll show you why, right? But I'll tell you right now, with all the clients that I've spoken with regarding this program, the majority of them have never heard of this. Majority of them have never heard of this whatsoever, nor have their CPAs. It's crazy. It's kind of like college scholarships. Okay, college scholarships, there's literally hundreds of millions of dollars every year available for college scholarships that go untouched. Why? Because people don't know about it. So that's what we're here for, okay? At the end of this, I'm gonna show you what may make you eligible. And what I'm gonna say, you're gonna hear me say this several times throughout this training. If you think you might be eligible, even if you think you might not be, it's worth it for you to find out. Do not disqualify yourself, okay? All right, so the ERC, Employee Retention Credit Program, came out of the CARES Act, which was amended in March of 2021, okay? So again, this is a federal program, period, end of sentence. It came out of the CARES Act of 2021, or the amended CARES Act of 2021, okay? One of the biggest pushbacks I get from people when I talk to them about this program, or from clients, is they think it's too good to be true. Because when I say refundable tax credits, I mean, I can't legally say it's free money, so I won't say that. I will say, excuse me, I will say it's a refundable tax credit. Okay. Still, from almost every business owner I talk to, one of the first pushbacks I get is, oh, this sounds too good to be true. This sounds like a scam. There's no way this is legit. Okay, good. Don't believe me. In fact, I don't want you to believe me. Look it up for yourself. Look it up on the IRS tax code. You'll find it. It's there. Again, this is not our code. This is not our program. Our company, what we do is we just help you by doing all the legwork for you, getting all the docs to you that you need, getting your docs that the IRS is going to need, putting together the contracts, the paperwork, and getting everything filed with the IRS. Okay, that's what we do. And I'll go more into that in a few moments. So how is this different from the other programs that have come out? Okay, number one biggest difference, we are not a loan. ERC is not a loan. It is a tax credit. One of the other questions I get from people is, well, if I got a PPP loan, am I still eligible for the tax credit? Yes, you are. That's actually one of the amendments that they did back in 2021, last year, is that they made it so, and when this program first came out, if you had gotten a PPP loan, you were not qualified. Now you are. They amended it. So even if you got a PPP, you are still eligible potentially to get ERC, because again, ERC is not a loan. It's not a loan, okay? Excuse me. So how does this work? There are a couple of catches, because I know, I can hear you out there. I can hear the voices out there in webinar land. What's the catch? What's the catch, JK? What's the catch? Okay, there's some catches. One is that the way this program works, the employee retention credit, if you are a small business owner, meaning according to this program, a small business owner is defined by any business with less than 500 employees. So if you have less than 500 employees, you're in. Okay. The second part is they have to be W-2s. That is one of the catches. If you have 1099s, doesn't work. You have to have W-2s. So under 500 W-2 employees makes you potentially eligible for this program. And specifically within the years of 2020 and 2021. So if you had W-2 employees in 2020 and or 2021, you are potentially eligible for up to $26,000 per employee in refundable tax credits. Now, in a few moments, I'm going to show you in the last 2 weeks what I have gotten for some of my clients. It's going to blow your mind. I'm not kidding. Stick around towards the end. It's worth it, right? So that's how this works. Okay, up to 26,000 per employees must be W-2s in 2020 and or 2021. And finally, I'm going to say this again later in this training. It's okay. Repetition is okay. You have to be able to prove to the IRS that the pandemic somehow affected your business, yet you are able to keep or bring on W-2s. Okay. And by the way, it's not that difficult to show the IRS that the pandemic affected your business based on their own qualifiers. In a moment, we'll get into that. Okay. So what does this cost? What does this cost? I can already hear you now. Well, how much is this? How much is this? Okay. What if I were to tell you that and legit tell you that this could literally cost you nothing out of pocket to do this deal, to do this, to qualify and get access to this money? You're going to tell me this sounds too good to be true. I already know that. So let me explain what I mean. So the way we get paid, because obviously we're going to get paid to do this for you, right? You have two options as far as like how you pay us. So let me just quickly explain the process first. First part of the process, you go to my website, jkerc.com. I will put up that website 2 more times during the course of this training. Make sure you write this down. If you haven't done this already, get out some paper, get out a pen, and take notes. Okay, this is crucial. You have no idea how much money might be sitting out there that you didn't even know existed. I'm telling you. Okay, so you're going to go to my website. You're going to click on the button on the upper right corner that says begin qualifying. You're going to fill out the questionnaire, which will take you all of about 5 to 10 whopping minutes to do. That questionnaire will tell you, based on your answers, whether or not it looks like you might qualify for ERC, Employee Retention Credit. If you do, if it looks like you do, you will instantly get an email and a text message from the system telling you what documents are needed by us, which I'll go through that in a moment as well. It's really simple. And then also an upload link for you to upload those documents. What happens next? Those documents go to the corporate office in Utah, where it is going to be analyzed by our team of tax nerds. I call them my tax nerds, and I'm sure they appreciate that like you cannot believe. I actually don't know what their title is. I think they call themselves account executives or whatever. I don't know. I call them the tax nerds, and I'm sure at some point when they figure out what I'm calling them, I'm sure I'll be getting phone calls, whatever. Okay. So how does this work though? So once they analyze it, they're going to come back to you. And by the way, once you turn in your docs, you're going to be assigned an account rep who's going to be your point of contact from that point forward, right? For any questions, concerns, issues, needs, whatever. They're going to come back and say, hey, Joe or Jane, business owner, we got you qualified for whatever, $225,000. Do you want to move forward? Now, I have not yet had any one of my clients say, no, I don't want refundable tax credits. You do have that option. All of my clients say yes, at which point you're given one of two options as far as payments. Okay, you can either pay at that moment, which we call it paying up front. If you do that, it's 10% of whatever we get you. So if we're getting you 225, you're paying 10% of that. Okay. Your second option is, and this is what like 99% of our, excuse me, 99% of our business owners do, is they opt for paying the fee at the end when the money comes in from the IRS. If you do that, then it's 15% of whatever we get you. Okay. Now, how does that fit with my comment about nothing out of your pocket? Simple. If you choose the latter, which is 15%, then that just comes out of whatever comes in from the IRS, whatever we get you. So literally you came out of pocket $0 to make this happen. Okay. I am a big believer. Anyone who knows me will tell you. Anyone who knows me will tell you, good, bad, or ugly, one thing you'll always get from me is transparency, and you will get whatever's on my mind. And those of you who know me, who watch this, you're going to start laughing and nodding your head. You're going to be like, yep, that's JK, right? So that's how this works. This is the ERC summary table. I'm not going to go through every bit. I'm going to give you the highlights in a moment. This is just to say, this is what we're working off of. When we get your docs, this is what the tax nerds are working off of, right? To determine how much you can get, determine if you're qualified, all that good stuff, right? So, just a high level, some of the things that we're looking for, what the IRS is looking for. If you're a 501A or 501C, then you qualify. That qualifies. Okay, if you're designated one of those entities. In 2020, it was 100 employees or less. In 2019, that got amended to 500 employees in 2021. Did your business experience a full or partial shutdown due to COVID, right? Or on that same note, did you have to adjust or change your operations of your business? Okay, things along those lines. Did you see a 50% decline in gross receipts? Now, it doesn't have to be all of those things. It only has to be one. I have businesses, I have clients that have qualified that actually made more money in the pandemic. The revenues actually went up. Okay, there are businesses that have actually thrived in the pandemic. I'll give you an example. Zoom, we're on it right now. Oh boy, if I would have known about this before the pandemic, I would have bought a ton of Zoom stock. That's all I'm saying, right? So bottom line is, it doesn't, I have businesses that have actually made more money. They still qualified. Okay. Another qualifier is part of the amendments of 2021. Was your business affected by the supply chain issues? I'm going to tell you, most of the clients I've been signing up, the answer has been a resounding yes. So if that's you, you qualify, right? So it's not hard. My point is, it's not hard to qualify for this. It isn't. Okay. And I'm going to stress this again. Okay. Well, and one thing that I'm noticing with a lot of my clients, and I really can't understand why you would do this. Okay. I really don't. Is I have to, like, for example, in a moment, excuse me, I'm sorry. In a moment, I'm going to show you what I actually got one of my clients a couple weeks ago. And the reason why I'm showing it, so I'm going to share this real quick. When I first talked to him on the phone, he wasn't going to fill out the questionnaire because he was looking at things going, well, I don't know if I qualify. I don't know if it's worth it for me to do this, blah, 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 blah. I literally had to twist his arm over the phone to get him to take the 10 minutes to fill this thing out because he was already disqualifying himself. Folks, this is free to find out. We charge you nothing. We will not ask you for a credit card for you to find out if you qualify or not. Okay? And it takes like 10 minutes to do. Even if, what's the worst thing that could happen for my what if people in the room? Well, what if this? What if that? Right? What if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? Okay, for what my what ifs right now? What's the worst that could happen? You take 10 minutes. What are you going to lose? You're going to lose 10 minutes. If you don't qualify, you took 10 minutes to find out, right? But what if you do? What if you took 10 minutes and you do qualify and you didn't even know the money was there? My point is just take the freaking time and do it, right? It's worth the 10 minutes. All right. So what can you use this for? What can you use this money for? Answer, anything. Again, it's not a loan. It is a refundable tax credit. Okay, now why do I stress this? Because with the PPP, there were rules to what you could do with that money, right? With this, you can do whatever you want. You can reinvest in your business. You can pay off debt. You can go buy cars, boats, and leather coats if that's what you want to do. Wouldn't recommend that. You could do it, right? Now, I mentioned before, I'm a real estate investor by heart. My heart's real estate investing. I have other businesses. Why? Because especially in this economy, especially where this economy is going, it is crucial to have multiple streams of income, right? But I'm a real estate investor at heart. So I have done this training in real estate rooms, real estate webinars, things like that. And I'll get the question from people, well, if I'm a real estate investor, what does this have to do with real estate investing? Answer, everything. First of all, some of my clients are developers, real estate developers, rehabbers, commercial investors, things of that nature, right? Lenders, whatever. Second, think about this for a second, and you're going to see this in a moment. And you're going to see this in a few moments. The average that we're getting for our clients is $225,000. Hey, what could you do with that 225? Could you put that towards a real estate investment? Yes, you could. Now, talk about the ultimate no money down deal, right? You're using the government's money back to you to buy an investment that makes you money. How cool and crazy is that, right? You got to think like an investor. That's what it really comes down to. You got to think like an investor. Okay, so you can use this for anything, is my point. So I get this question a lot. Why hasn't my CPA told me about this? Why haven't they told me about this? Simple. Most CPAs don't even know about this. Why? Because most CPAs don't deal with payroll. So this program so the money is based off of your payroll taxes, okay? And most CPAs just don't deal with that. Those are companies like ADP, Paychecks, QuickBooks. That's who usually deals with your payroll taxes, your payroll numbers, right? Your 941s. So what we're doing is we're amending your 941s. That's what ERC specialists are doing. And by the way, I think I mentioned this at the beginning, it bears repeating. Okay, don't disqualify yourself. This is something else, and the reason why I'm bringing this up again is because a lot of my clients, when I have this conversation with them, their CPA has either never heard of this, because they'll tell me, they're like, well, how come my CPA has not told me about this? Or here's the other thing I hear. Well, my CPA said I don't qualify for this. My CPA said, don't bother. Again, it takes you 10 minutes to find out. And I'm telling you, and I'm not bashing CPAs. I'm not talking smack about them, right? They just simply don't know. And the funny thing is, a lot of my clients are CPAs. They're CPAs that sign up to better serve their clients, right? Remember, I told you there's two ways to make money off of this. Okay, hold tight, we're getting to it. And again, I mentioned this before, according to Forbes, 70 to 80% of small businesses in the US qualify for this. And yet most of them, I can tell you right now, I don't know what the number is, but I can tell you from my experience, most of them don't even know about this, okay? Take the minute to find out. Do yourself a favor, right? All right, so we're ERC specialists, this company I'm with. We are the second largest company of its kind in the US and rapidly we're coming very close to becoming number one. We'll just leave it at that, right? So what do? This is not our program. I mentioned this a few times already. This is a federal program. What we do is we do all the paperwork. We do all the documentation. We do the number analysis. I mean, I'll just, again, one thing, again, just being completely transparent, being who I am, being transparent. Um, could you do this yourself? Yeah, you could. You don't need us to do this. You could do this yourself. You could go online and dig around and find all the paperwork that needs to be found and completed and submitted. You could do all the number analysis, all the calculations, all that stuff you need to do to determine how much you qualify for. You could go and read through the IRS tax code, to figure out how this all works. You could be the one that submits, all the documentation to the IRS and tracks it. Yeah, you can do all of that. Again, you'll figure it out real quick. Hey man, I say it like it is. I speak from the heart. Okay. Like I said, good, bad, or ugly, I speak from the heart. So the point is, do you really have time for this? If you are a small business owner, chances are you don't. You really don't, and you really shouldn't. What should you be spending your time on? You should be spending your time on your business, right? When I coach and train and mentor real estate investors, one of the first things I teach is I teach the concept of the power team. Okay, the power team meaning, instead of you banging on nails, instead of you, managing tenants, instead of you doing all that work, hire experts and professionals in those fields. Because if you're doing all the work to run the business, you are not expanding. You are not growing your business. You're not scaling your business. I'll give you an example again. I'm involved with I got brought in to be involved in the cannabis industry. I'm working on a major cannabis project right now. If I were to try to do that on my own, I would fail. In order for that project to be successful, I need a team of lawyers. I need my business partner who is she's amazing at what she does, right? And she has taught me a lot. I have learned a lot from her. I need an operations specialist to help me run the project. If I tried to do all of that on my own, I would fail, period, end of sentence. If I tried to run my real estate investing business by myself, I would fail. Okay. So that's as far as ERC is concerned, that's where this comes in. We take care of this for you. We go get your money for you so you can continue to focus on what's important, which is your business. Okay. Right. All right. So yes, we specialize in helping businesses claim ERC tax credits. I got to update the slide. I got to remember to do that. We're growing so fast. We are growing so fast. In a moment, you'll see some more specific numbers of what we've done for our clients. What I can tell you right now, it says team of 75 processors and growing. We're up to over 200 now. And I last did this training about a month ago. That tells you something, right? So one thing I will tell you, well, I'll save that for a later slide. So hold that thought. So why us? Okay, I mentioned that for now, we're the #2 company of its kind. We're about to overtake and become #1. Our job is to get you the most available credit legally, right? To maximize how much you can get legally, okay? We have a team of tax nerd experts, if you will. And like I mentioned before, I talked about what we charge up front. And to date, we've helped over 6,000 businesses, and we've generated over $1.1 billion, with the average being about 225 per business. Okay, we have a team of tax law experts, payroll experts. We were talking, I mean, these people have a lot to lose, and the reason why I bring that up is I get the question, what if I get audited? What if I get audited, right? My what ifs, right? What if I get audited? Well, first of all, it would not behoove us. Well, first of all, it's not as scary to get audited, okay, as you are led to believe. Okay, as long as you're not a tax cheat, if you're a tax cheat, can't help you. But if you're doing everything legit by the book, worst thing that could happen during an audit is that the IRS ends up not allowing some of your deductions. You owe a little bit more money, right? That's it, unless you're a cheat. Again, I can't help you. However, here's the thing. We have the top names in the industry taking care of your business. it does not behoove us to not basically be audit proof. Now, nothing is 100% audit proof. I will never make that claim. However, we have never been audited so far. And if you happen to be one of the first, we have a full audit package that will provide to you no extra charge to give to the IRS to show that this is, what you're claiming is legit. Okay. So I mentioned some of my recent clients and, the numbers. Let me just show you a few of them. These are actual emails that I get from the company when this happens, right? These are actual emails that I copied and pasted, okay? Because I wanted you to see exactly how it goes down. This is the guy that was almost not going to fill out the questionnaire because he wasn't sure if he qualified. Look how much he got, $844,000, right? The next slide talks about my commission. Why is that important? So he's getting 844, I'm getting 25,000, and that is not coming out of his that's my commission. He's getting 844,000, I'm getting 25,000. Why is that important? I told you there's a second way of making money off of this, and I mentioned it earlier. And if you're not a business owner, but you know business owners, hey man, I pay referrals. I pay 25% of whatever I make. So if you would have referred this business to me, right, and I make 25 grand, you would have made 25% of that, which is what, like 6, 7 grand, okay? For giving me some referrals, you're making 6, 7 grand. Is that worth it, right? Give me a break. So I pay 25% of all referrals to me. This is, an extra income source for you potentially, right? This one's not as big. This one, he only got 45,000 or 44 and change. Question: if you all of a sudden got an extra 44 grand in your business that you weren't expecting, would you throw that away? If you found 44,000 on the ground, would you just walk by? I don't think so, man. I think you would pick it up, right? And there's another one, and for some reason it didn't come through on this. I must have made a mistake on the slide. This business also qualified for $892,000. So two businesses, one client got almost $1 million in refundable tax credits, all from a phone call of, I don't know if I qualify, I don't know if it's worth it, right? Take the 10 minutes and find out, please. Okay. Commission on this isn't great. It's only $1,300. Again, if I gave you 25% of that, which is what, about $300-400, would you walk by $300 or $400 if they're sitting on the ground? No. Okay. Get their name, get their number, ask permission if I can contact them, and you could make some money. Okay. How do you get started? I mentioned this before, jkerc.com. You'll see on the upper right corner there, begin qualifying, do the questionnaire. Okay. It's going to ask you, this is the documents we're going to ask for, the 941s, your payroll summary reports, and if you took out a PPP loan, we're going to want that information. Okay. Only other catch to this is that right now it's taking about 4 to 6 months to get the money. If I could do something about that, I would, trust me, because nobody gets paid until the IRS sends the money. And right now the IRS is backlogged. When we first started this about a year ago, the backlog was 4 to 6 months, 2 to 4 months. Now it's 4 to 6 months, okay? Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. That's 100% on the IRS. What I will tell you is this, and this is not me trying to push you or sell you or high pressure you or whatever. It is me trying to create a sense of urgency with you. And the reason why I say that is because right now, the backlog time is getting longer and longer as more people are discovering this program. Get it done now. Plus, I mentioned before, this is not a program that's going to be around forever. When the money runs out, the money runs out, okay? And unless they renew it, which who knows, they might renew it, they might not. Are you really going to count on the government for anything, right? No, you're not. So 4 to 6 months is currently what we're looking at right now, okay? So the website is jkerc.com, jkerc.com. You're going to go to that website, you're going to click the begin qualifying button, you're going to get it done, okay? And again, get it done, do it. The time really is of the essence. This is not me doing a sales pitch. In case you have not noticed, this has not been a sales training. This has been me simply educating you. Okay. However, I am creating a sense of urgency because there is a time limit to this. Don't wait. Okay. And other than that, I just want to thank you for your time. This is my contact info. That's my email address. That's my direct number, and my website. Call me, text me, email me any questions you have. I'll be happy to answer it. And other than that, thank you for your time. Thank you for attending this webinar. And Jason, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you for participating, JK, and sharing the valuable information on how you get more. I get tax credits back. You definitely want to reach out to JK today. And thank you again, Jason Kennedy.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
All right, you too.